It made Mike like Poppy. Like that's how fucking good this album is.
I don't like Poppy. I like the song. She does sound good on there. She does sound good on there. I'll give her that song, and that's it, though. Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour, and I'm joined, as always, by my trusty, handy co-host, Alexander Volt. Say hello.
Hello.
Ooh, this is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. It's usually a new discography per episode, except for these EAE singles episodes where we cover something new, something brand new that just came out. And today we will be discussing
the latest album by Knocked Loose entitled You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to.
Ooh, now this is something...
Ooh.
Boy, you brought this to my attention.
We were supposed to cover something else, which won't be named. And then my friend Hillary, she's been trying to get me to listen to this band for a while. But she's like, you got to check out the single from this called Blinding Faith. Yep. I listened to it. I texted you immediately. Yep. I'm like, I think we got something here. I think we got to talk about this just based off that single. And
you were indeed correct, because we tried to get a review copy. Our boy Tom Osman, who you should all go support and follow. He threw out the word. He got us a review copy, but we couldn't record it in time to put it up before the album came out. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're doing it now, and the album is out now. But so thank you anyway. But dude,
also go listen to that. What are you doing? If you haven't heard it yet, please.
If you're a fan of heavy music, of really heavy music, this, even if you're open to really heavy music, but you don't necessarily dabble in that, this is pretty spectacular.
Ooh, this caught me off guard in the best way. I thought this was going to be an album where I'd have to listen to it multiple times to get my true feelings, to like let it soak in. Fucking instant classic. Love it immediately.
Yeah. So out the gate, 28 minutes. So it's 28 minutes. It's like a sentence. It's a sentence. It does one point. It has various different messages within the one sentence, but it's brief. That's a weird analogy. That's the weirdest analogy I've ever made. It's a kind of a bad analogy, honestly.
I got a weirder analogy.
Okay.
The Gary Goldman joke on Conan about the abbreviating states.
The abbreviated states, yes. One of the greatest bits of all time, honestly.
This is the hardcore equivalent of that comedy bit.
Yeah, it's like it's one chunk. It's a chunk of music, and they're different songs. They all have the same kind of feeling, the same kind of vibe. They're very samey, but they each do something very unique. So that even though they all feel the same, they are not the same. And with music this punishing, if it went on for 40 minutes. It would have dragged. If it went on for 35 minutes, it would have been good, but maybe even still a little bit too long. 28 minutes, it is fucking perfect.
Flawless victory. I know Knocked Loose has been, setting the world on fire. Relatively young band. This is their third album, I believe. And, man, I'm going to have to check those other albums out, but this feels like I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is something different compared to what they were doing before.
Interesting. I have no experience with this band at all. The first thing I heard was the single that you heard.
Mm-hmm. I thought this was just going to be punishing hardcore music start to finish, which would have been fine. But this is like so special and unique. Like the album cover the album cover's perfect because that's how I felt listening to, like, I've discovered something bigger and larger and more spiritual than me, which I was not expecting to say about a fucking hardcore band.
Not even close. And that album cover, like, there's something about it. Glancing at it because when I just glanced at it and I thought like, okay, it's gonna have religious overtones, whatever. It's a thing. It's a photograph. Fine. It's fine. And then as I was listening to music, I just kind of kept going back, and then I started like staring at the cover as a piece of art, like just analyzing the way I would any other painting or image. I fucking love that cover. There's something super, like you were saying, bigger than yourself. The scale is a beautiful representation of scale.
Yes,
where you just feel small, and it's something really ominous about it. I absolutely love the cover.
It's old, but it's like old symbology with the cross, but it's like neon lights, so it's like new. It's just man. These fucking. I'm gonna assume they're kids. These kids from Kentucky, like, holy fuck, like. What was in the water where they were growing up?
Seriously. By the way, it's not even 28 minutes. It's 27 and a half minutes. That's how long.
There you go.
And so it's technically metalcore and hardcore, which I'm not particularly a fan of. I'm not going to like shit on it. It's just a thing that I was never drawn to. I'm into different styles of extreme music. But I'm open to it. I like, Colesk a lot. Obviously Dillinger. I mean, maybe Dillinger is a little bit different, but Colesk counts, and I like Colesk a lot. But aside from that, I don't really have much of a dog in that fight. And then hearing this, it is just so much more. It's so much more.
Yeah, I feel like we would like Converge. I think Converge is probably like their closest. But I just honestly haven't given Converge an honest go at it. But this, like I said, I was just in a haze. Like, what did I just fucking listen to? Yeah,
because I would say even if you're not sitting down listening to it, taking notes the way we usually do, even if you're hearing this ambiently, even though it's extreme, it's completely extreme. There's screaming and blasting, and it's really loud. Even if you're listening to it ambiently, you will notice that this is still different and special and distinct. Each song is distinct, and there's something to grab onto, even if it is chaotic. Even if you're not even fucking like in the background, this is so good. You will spot it. Like, what the fuck was that? That was interesting.
For sure.
That is a very rare thing with extreme music.
Yeah. Just like the opener it's like brutal blast beats. Then you get these crunchy, groovier riffs. And then it does another 180 where it's like chaotic, hardcore music. And it's just like the start and stops are so wild, but it's so seamless.
The way each song transitions into the next one is masterful. The way the opener Thirst goes into piece by piece, it's like a real showcase of how important drums are in extreme music, because the drummer makes the band. I mean, not entirely, it's an overstatement, but the jump choices are so smart, so unexpected, and they come at the exact time you need it to make the songs feel different. Like someone is drowning you, and then they pull you up for a second before they start drowning you again.
That's a beautiful metaphor.
Brought it back. Fucked up with that sentence when I brought it back.
Whenever there's extreme music, it's so easy for drummers to this lay on, blasting or, a double bass pattern. These things that just fit in extreme music. And to be fair, it is kind of hard to go against the grain because there's these fast passages. Like what are you going to do? But this guy's doing just like crazy creative shit. I was not expecting to sit down and listen to some of the most innovative percussion on an extreme music album I've ever heard. Like the calm that keeps you awake.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are these dudes? Who are these? What is going on in their heads? It's so different and so unique.
That guitar line is insanely unsettling. It's so cool. Some wild riffs on that one.
I think I think the like sadness or sinister nature of this album is also what makes it so unique. Like I said, with extreme music, very easy to go into these, cliches or standards, and it's just like the like sadness and the more melodic stuff just keeps this album fresh, and it kept me engaged start to finish.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments where you'll lose the riff, and I can't make out the riff because it's just so much happening. But then other moments where it'll take a little bit of a break. Things will kind of clear out, and you hear these gigantic, really, really tangible, evil riffs, very evil riffs, extremely, extremely evil sounding riffs. But then with the other stuff is what makes it interesting, because like the big, satisfying evil riffs are very cool, but then the stuff that ends up being the really weird stuff listen. I have naysayed Poppy. I don't like Poppy. I hate Poppy. You like Poppy. You like Poppy. I hate Poppy. But Poppy is on Suffocate, and Suffocate might be the best song on the album, or one of them at least.
Fucking going down with Poppy. And she is like, she's been kind of complacent, kind of maybe dabbling in pop punk and some things I don't care for. But she's
she's a hopper. She's a poser.
She goes fucking hard. Like her scream, she's not screamed like that ever, I don't think. And I like that, there's some middle ground too, that when she pops up, they go into like some open hi-hat stuff on the drums. It is just
the open hi-hat stuff is spectacular. That's the shit that I'm like, is that a fucking dance beat? Like, how are they making that work with this? And it works.
Yeah, there's even like a fucking like reggaeton drum beat on Suffocate.
Sure, like
absolutely.
Yeah. You thought the Foo Fighters did it best in fucking Concrete and Gold. I mean, this is so good.
Concrete and Gold laid the groundwork for metal, Suffocate, heavy, hard rock bands to do reggaeton beats.
And it works so well. It's amazing. It doesn't do it. They don't do it very many times on the album, but when they do the black metal style drums,
oh dude,
I am fucking. So Don't Reach For Me is like the first time I noted it.
I was really, really glad I had the lyrics open when I was listening to this, because I don't know, there's just something about someone screaming a fitting end for an absolute fucking clown where I like.
That's a good lyric.
Like whatever the metalhead equivalent of Yas Queen is, like that's. Yeah, that's what it's that same feeling. We're like, like, yeah.
It's also not a very metal sounding lyric, which makes it kind of more interesting.
I don't know,
or like stereotypically metal.
No. It is very much like in like modern lingo for sure.
Yeah.
It's just a level of hatred I need from time to time, and even the evil, groovy, like electronic part, like that song's probably making it on my like best songs of 2024 for sure.
Dude, it's so great. I mean, that section, I don't know if it's when you're talking about around 145. It's a clean section. Clean. Mm-hmm. It's not really, it's clean guitars, but everything else is fucking crazy and chaotic. It has a really great rhythm. But it just goes so many different places. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Moss Covers All is basically a prelude to Take Me Home.
Like I was already sold, but those two songs, I was like, this is it. This is
No, you're 100% correct. I don't know why they're not one song, because Moss Covers All is 45 seconds, and it kind of has the same recurring
riff,
guitar line. But Take Me Home, I mean, probably my favorite song on the album. If I had to pick one, it's between that or Suffocate. Like, it's unbelievable. It's so good.
Like bone chilling shit, which I was not expecting on a hardcore album.
No, not at all. That bass, when the bass comes in, it's a devastating bass. It's a bass that hits you in the face with a bat. And then these big treble drums come in with these spoken vocals, which is the only time on the album we get spoken vocals.
Well, there was some on the poppy track.
Well, she does it on the poppy
Yeah.
one, but the male voice on this one. And then the outro has this really creepy sample of this old duet song. Yeah, I mean, and it's just it's beautifully done. Beautifully done.
And then we got Slaughterhouse 2, which kind of feels like a return to like brutal, primitive shit, but it's also like oddly channeling like some symphonic black metal stuff without having the cheese that usually comes with the symphonic black metal stuff. And the drumming's just bonkers.
Definitely. The in reference to the symphonic black metal stuff, I think you were talking about those guitar arpeggios, the ones that kind of ring out. Yeah. Really nice, a really nice chorus, and it's the only thing the vocal line at the very beginning is pretty goofy. I've never been a fan of hardcore vocals of the style of scream, but that's the only moment on the album I was like, all right, that's kind of goofy. But the rest of it, I mean, it's so deathy. There's so much blasting. I mean, it's so fucking brutal. It's great.
Yeah, I don't care for Motionless in White. It's kind of that's the singer on here. It's just whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I've aged out. That band's not for me. I don't care for them.
Yeah.
Although I guess they are fucking old. Maybe whatever. I don't want to talk about that band. I want to talk about Knock Loose.
Yes. Fair.
Man.
Blinding Faith, the single Blinding Faith. So like you sent me that one and I liked it, but I wasn't sold because I just heard it as like, oh, this is really, really good hardcore. Like I'm not, it's a really good version of a genre I don't really care for. I still like the song, but I figured like you, like if it's a full album of this, I'm sure it'll be a cool album. It'll be a cool album. I wasn't expecting all the wild other shit that they do on here.
Neither was I. And I don't know if anyone is. I should have like maybe listened to a few of their other albums or talk to Hillary about their career before this, but
maybe not because this is our fucking introduction and we're sold. We're completely sold.
Yeah. Would have died at their show, but I wish I went to it.
Why would you have died?
The crowds look fucking insane at their shows. I'm gonna be way. I'm not even gonna try to get close. I'll be in the old man section.
Yeah, there's only a few bands. You know what? Like I've gotten to the point with shows where like now I don't live in LA, so it'll be ridiculous to try to get to a show. I'll have to like drive to fucking the nearest major city, Sacramento or San Francisco or something. But it's always like if I feel the urge, like, oh, I have to buy a ticket, that already means that I'm probably going to try and be in the front row. So I'm wearing a Swans shirt, just saw Swans, front row. If I'm going to Swans, I have to be in the front row, even if I lose my hearing, which I almost did. If I go to any kind of band, like if I had gone with you to see Idols, as you've recently done, I would have found a way to be in the front row, like that kind of thing. With a band like this, I'm not doing it. I'm absolutely not fucking doing it. I love the album 100%. I am so far past the age of being anywhere near people pushing. Don't touch me.
It's a young person's game, and I appreciate that this kind of transcends age, and I'd be stoked to see them. I don't know if I. Also, like hardcore, like I can take care of myself at a metal show. I don't know if I'm ready. Maybe I'd be fine. I don't know. Maybe I'll just fucking
fine. Yeah,
I'll just bite the bullet. I'll adapt.
Yeah, even with like the punk shows that I go to a lot as a teenager and metal shows. I mean, you get some rowdy people. It's the same as always. But I was also thinking while listening to this album about them live. Like, even though I think this is basically a fucking flawless album and it's absolutely incredible, live I think I would lose some, because it would be so I would lose more things live, all the little idiosyncrasies that they do, the little the little things that make this so unique, I think I would actually lose them live. It would be too loud. It'd be too fucking intense.
You got the liturgy problem here.
Yeah. Where like Liturgy is a great band live, but I'm missing a lot of the little, and not that they couldn't recreate it live. I'm sure they recreate tons of it live. I mean, as in it's such an intense, loud show that you're more focused on the energy around it, because that's just what comes with
a live show.
With live shows, but with specifically metal bands. Like you get so into it, you're fucking headbanging, you're in the pit, you're moving around, that you're not listening to the little diddly widdlies that they're doing in the song, which is that's what gets me off now in life, is these little tiny things, and that's what I want more of. But I'm sure I would love them live, but just not as much as maybe just blasting this album in my living room.
Yeah. Jesus, man, this album,
it's fucking nuts.
Be talking about it 6 months from now, probably.
100%. If this is not on both of our year-end lists, then that means it was a great year, because other things came. Yeah, that's the only way. Because, the vocals are not my bag. I do not like this stuff. But I could say the same thing about Coalesce, who I love.
Yeah.
Hate the vocals. At a certain point, it doesn't fucking matter.
The like barking like dog like
yeah.
It's not for me, but this album's so good, and also it's there, but it's not like I don't know, it's there, but it's so fucking good, I don't care.
There's also a thing with music this intense and this brutal, that I'm glad someone's at least screaming. It's like even though I'm sure there would be a way to make this work with like some kind of sung vocal or something different, who knows, whatever. But with this much brutality, it feels good to hear someone screaming on it. Like it's like it's your inside, your soul screaming along with it. It's something that it works. Even if I don't like the type of scream that he's doing, or his voice particularly, it doesn't matter. It feels good. We didn't even talk about the closer, Sit and Mourn.
Yeah, fucking, again, just eerie opening. Then you get like flurry of drums and guitar, this big chunky riffs, and another song where I love this drummer so much. And the melodic stuff towards the end rules equally as hard. When an album's this short, you got to make every second count, and they absolutely make every second count.
Yeah, it's the only song that has like legit clean, like atmospheric, chilling clean. At first, the intro, which doesn't last long before it goes into, a giant hardcore section. But around 240, that's when like the more atmospheric clean guitar comes in. And it's this big, ringy, chilling, clean guitar, very echoey, very big and reverby. And then when the band comes back in, that same guitar is like bleeding through everything, and it kind of hangs out there. It's really nice effect. And then the black metal section on that song is one of my favorite sections in the whole fucking album. It's just gorgeous. Damn, this album rules.
No skips. Yeah. No skips.
Yeah. One of the most impressive arrangements I've heard all year. Like the way these songs are put together is just spectacular. I mean,
I just wasn't expecting any part of this.
Not at all. Honestly, I hadn't heard the single in so long. You sent me the single like a month or two ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And I listened to it. When I was getting ready to put the album on, I forgot what kind of music it was. I thought I was like,
"Oh shit!"
I was like, "This is like industrial hip hop." I actually thought that for a second. I was like, "What actually was this fucking thing?"
Yeah,
man, it's not industrial hip hop.
No, it's even calling it hardcore music feels weird, but that's the home base.
Yeah, it technically is. It really is. And you still get the hardcore sections with that really groovy hardcore beat. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's very obviously that beat, that kind of groove metal beat.
Still start off every song like, Los Angeles, what the fuck is up, motherfuckers?
Yeah,
you still do that for every song?
You still do that. Yeah, you sure can. It'd be annoying, but you can.
That's just part of the scene, right?
Yeah. What the fuck is up?
Let me see you in the pit right fucking now. And then the chunk.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. We just aged out of that particular aspect of it. It doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
I won't make fun of it forever, though. But well, yeah, I mean, yeah, intense music fans, just give it a shot. I mean, if you don't like it, whatever, but you should. There's a lot to like.
Do these guys even have like contemporaries or peers? Like who is?
I know so little about hardcore that I have no clue.
Yeah, like who is like actually who fucks like the way this band fucks?
There's got to be a scene, otherwise they wouldn't exist. I bet. Yeah, there's got to be a scene of them. There's someone there.
Should have had Hillary on for this. Whatever. Next time.
Yeah, next time.
It made Mike like Poppy. Like that's how fucking good this album is.
I don't like Poppy. I like the song. She does sound good on there. She does sound good on there. I'll give her that song, and that's it, though. I'll give her that song. Yeah, thank you so much for listening and watching and hanging out. If you want to join us in our journey of listening to every album and song and band ever, subscribe. Talk some shit in the comments. Tell us why we're stupid. You can follow me on all social media at Panda Monkey and Alex on Instagram at
Every Album Alex.
And you can follow our history guy, Tom Osman, at Tom Osman Sounds on all social media, as well as TomOsmanSounds.com for all his music and his podcast, whatever comes next, which you can find links to in the description. He does all our research for us. He gets albums for us, and he gets interviews for us, and he interviews a bunch of musicians on his podcast, and it's very cool. And if you want to be a real supporter, a real ass G, please go to Patreon, patreon.com/everyalbumever. You get bonus episodes, 2 bonus episodes per month. You get to see our schedule in advance. You get to vote on polls to decide who we're covering next. We're in the middle of a very heated poll with 3 big giant episodes in the running, and people they're done with it. There's a lot. I was surprised at how many people were split with that one.
I knew that poll was coming up. Didn't know it was officially up.
Oh yeah, it's officially up and it's going. It's going, baby.
All right.
Hell yeah. You can also join Discord, be part of our community where we all hang out and talk about music as well as whatever the hell we want. And on there is where we pull out suggestions for these EAE singles episodes. So if an album came out this year and you want to hear us talk about it, throw it on the Discord and we pick it out. And lastly, if you're tier 2, then you can suggest a full episode, a full discography for us to cover on our bigger, longer numbered episodes. So yeah, do that, please. Thank you. Okay. Wrapping it up. What song are we closing it out with?
Suffocation.
Suffocation. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. It is that damn good. Why the hell not?
Usually we try not to pick a single, but I don't give a fuck.
Yep, 100%. So thanks so much for listening and watching. See ya.